I'm going to take a look at a post on Niagara community on exporting your histories. This is a post called Mass Export of Histories. If you search the community, you'll find it. And in here, there's some code for a program object that'll go through a station and export the full contents of every history it finds as a separate CSV file. So you get one file per history, full contents. This is pretty handy if you have to export, tons and tons of histories. A couple things to note about this post. So this code is for AX. It'll only work on AX. There's just some minor tweaks you need to do to make it work on N4. And there is, if you just copy paste that code, there's one or two errors where it's just like an extra space or a missing bracket or something else that's annoying that's going to pop up errors and keep it from running. So if you go to my site, and I'll have a link below, I got the code that will just copy paste it, plop it in, it'll compile and run. Here we are in Niagara 4.3. Get started, open up the program palette, and drag a new program object onto the wire sheet, give it a name. And if you right click on this, one of the views is going to be the program editor. Go into that. First view is where you put your code. We're going to blow that away. And if you head to the link below, grab the N4 code, just copy paste it. And then the next step is we got to add two slots. First one is going to be called status. It's going to be a string. Next one is going to be called histories to exclude. That'll be a Baja ord list. And then to these, we're going to change the flags to summary. So config flags, summary, so they show on the module. And then we're also going to add some facets. So config facets to status, we're going to add field width. Set it to 100. And note, these are all case sensitive too. And to the histories to exclude, we're going to add a facet called multi-line and make that true. So that's our slots that we need to add, is the status and histories to exclude. Then under imports, there's a bunch of packages that we need to add. First three are going to be from the Baja package, and it's going to be called javax.baja.naming. javax.baja.naming. Next one be from Baja again. This one's going to be javax.baja.file. Next one, Baja again. This one's called javax.baja.nav. Yeah, if I can type. Next one is going to be from the history runtime. This one's going to be called javax.baja.history. Another one from the history runtime. javax.baja.history.db. And the last one will be from Java, and it's java.io. All right, so those are the packages you need to import into your program object in N4. So now that we got our program in, we've edited our two slots, and we've added those imports, we should be able to save and compile. So up here in the toolbar is the save and compile button. Hit that. If all goes well, it's going to turn green and say the program's up to date. So now this is ready to run. So if we come back here and we trigger this with the actions, executes, you'll see here it goes, and it's going to give you a status. Just basically lets you know which history it's working on. I think there's about 1,000 histories in the station, and it pops it out pretty quick. There we go. So yeah, there's 1,061 histories. On the home folder of the station you ran that object in, you should have a shared folder. In that shared folder, you're going to see a new history exports folder. And under that, you'll have a folder for each station that you happen to have histories for. And if we go into one of those, here's all the histories for that station. And if I open up one of these CSV files, you can see we have the full contents of a history. Nice and clean. Notice there's no units. I did edit that script a little bit so that it just dropped off the facets or the units. When you try and import that stuff into Excel, if you have the units in there, it doesn't treat it as a number, it treats it as text. So to have it just as a number is quite nice if you want to do math and whatnot. That's really all there is to it for N4. We'll take a look at AX quick a minute. Here we are in AX, and I've already added the object, added the code, and again, this code's a little different than the N4. The only difference is in N4, it's get components, and AX, it's get program, and there's two different spots you need to replace that. Other than that, the code is identical. The slots you have to add and edit are identical. The imports are slightly different, just basically some naming here and there. Notice history's just straight up history instead of history runtime, and I think there's one or two other minor differences. Other than that, save and compile. Should say it's up to date and you're ready to run it. If we run this off, it's going to do the same exact thing. Now it's completed. So we're going to take a look in the station home, and in the station home you're going to notice there's a history export folder created. In there, per JACE, station, whatever, you're going to have a folder, and then you'll have all the histories that are in that station. If we look into there, we got the same exact thing. Nice clean CSV file that we can import into Excel or other tools and do whatever we want to do with the data. There you have it. That's dumping all your histories in a station out to the file system as CSV files. Just be aware if you run this on a JACE that the file system space is limited, and you may run out of space, which could potentially crash the JACE. But other than that, once you do a CSV file, now it's pretty easy to make some automated scripts to pull these files and import them to pretty much anything. If you got any other comments or questions, leave them down below.